Hello, my name is Sofia Alcaraz, and the research topic that I'm going to be talking about today is how journaling improves mental health long term. After COVID, it's safe to say the world was never the same. It's changed us all in ways many of us still feel today, with how we think, cope, and the way some companies have remained online, never back in an office, and above it all, the way we connect with one another. During COVID-19, the epidemic of becoming more and more attached to our devices spiked faster than we could even realize or get ahead of. Instead of using healthy coping skills to navigate that turbulent time, technology is what took over. Disconnection is at an all-time high, and instead of making conversation with those around us, we stay glued to our phones, taking us further and further away from human connection. With everything going on in the world today, it's certainly a challenging place to find peace from all the noise. Most of us live our lives in a constant state of stimulation, looking for the next dose of dopamine. Even if there are times where we try to seek peace, it's still somewhere there in the background. It's an age of information constantly surrounding us. According to an article written by National Geographic in January of this year, states that over the past 2 decades, researchers have found that the average time people stay focused on a single task has dropped from 2.5 minutes to roughly 40 seconds. Understanding this gives reason and explanation as to why I even find myself having a much shorter attention span, whether or not I realize it, especially when it comes to taking in information. Majority of what was being shared in the media during COVID-19 leaned towards catering to the feeling of fear and anxiety. This doesn't pair well when most of us had to be locked in our homes, unable to interact, getting less sunlight, becoming more isolated, and losing a sense of connection. It's no question distraction became the prescription all of us needed during that time. David Oliver from USA Today writes in an article on December 22nd, 2021, quoting Crystal Burwell, who is a director of outpatient services in Newport Healthcare in Atlanta, that the external stimuli and nature of the environment play a major role in attention spans and building emotional resilience to combat COVID fatigue. Fast forwarding to present day, things returning to an operable state, there's still a residue of what had occurred, and it's without question that the world has been forever changed. COVID left the world with a bigger need than ever before for stimulation. I found myself at a crossroads and thought to myself, there has to be something more useful that I could do with my time. As it did for, I'm sure, many of us, it gave us time to reflect, think, and do my best to not just to do my best to make the most out of the situation, but process what was going on. One day I was on YouTube looking for something. What I came across is not something I think I would have clicked on had it been any other circumstance. However, given how bored I was, I thought I'll just listen. To give context, this video had to do with Stoicism and Marcus Aurelius. Coming across this, I didn't have a strong understanding of either, and my curiosity was just big enough to want to know a little bit more. Little did I know that this would later lead me down a road I've never once regretted taking. One of the first things that stuck out to me about in this video was a quote from Anne Frank from The Diary of a Young Girl that says, "Paper is more patient than people." This quote alone has stuck with me till this day. I quickly picked up on the fact that this video was talking about Marcus Aurelius's book, Meditations, which also happens to be a diary of Marcus's life, similar to Anne Frank. Taking this into account, it made me think not only on what an incredible gift it is to be able to put thoughts to paper, but how each of these documentations, these journals, have gone on to impact the world in a catastrophic way. What this resulted in was giving myself a challenge of writing 10 minutes every day. 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes at night. And doing this consistently over the course of a few days, there was almost an immediate shift in how I felt. I felt as though I could tread a little lighter due to the fact that what had been bottled up was finally being released. According to a study published in Science Direct in 2020, This documented people from the ages of 18 to 65 years of age, and this test consisted of writing about positive and negative emotions. What the study found was that individuals who participated in positive emotional writing experienced reductions of depression and had stress reactivity after journaling consistently for several days. In a recent article written by WebMD on February 12, 2026, and medically reviewed by Smitha Bhandari, it shared that in a study, patients and college students who wrote about stressful events had more success in healing faster as opposed to those who just wrote about mundane, everyday things. If journaling is something that strikes you as outdated, boring, or even pointless, that is so valid, and I completely understand that. Granted, I was encouraged to journal from a young age, but it just was never something that really appealed to me until much later in life, and quite literally during a time when I had absolutely nothing to do. Journaling can seem daunting to sit with your thoughts and put them on paper. With full confidence, I can say, while your mind can handle a great capacity, it can only handle so much. I've always thought of it similar to a bottle filled with water. Once it's reached its limit, you can try to add more, but it'll simply just burst. Keeping your mind full of thoughts without ever letting them out suppresses creativity and room for new and better thoughts to be there. Similarly, you can't buy new clothes and put them in your closet until you get rid of some of the old. Your mind is the same exact way. You can't expect to have new creative ideas, thoughts, and new things in there without getting rid of some of the gunk first. Journaling doesn't have to be complicated, and more than anything, it can be a really refreshing experience because it's real and it's not performative. You can say whatever you want and not a single critique will be said back to you, or no feedback will be given back to you. It's just you and your thoughts. All you need is a place to put those thoughts, whether it be paper, your notes app, computer, voice memo, or any blank canvas. Just start with checking in with yourself and start jotting down what's coming to mind. Give yourself a few minutes, and once you get things flowing, you might just be surprised what comes to mind, and you might just surprise yourself with what you find. Thank you.